Hey guys, so I'm doing this video right now to show you guys how I do my meal preps on Sundays. So I've already done all the cooking part of my meal prep, and I'm just going to be showing you how I do the actual putting everything together and knowing how much of each food to use when I meal prep. So first off, I want everybody to know that I am not like some kind of nutrition expert or guru or anything like that. I am just an average, normal person, and the extent of my knowledge as far as nutrition goes before I started actually coaching was pretty much what I learned in high school in my home ec class, and then I majored in family and consumer science when I was in college, so I had to take a nutrition class then. But it was one of those things where I never imagined I would be doing this. Hey Amanda. I never imagined that I would be doing something like this, so I never really put a lot of thought into actually studying nutrition or anything like that when I was in college and taking those classes. So when I became a coach, which was kind of just on a whim, I really started to dive into what clean eating was and what meal prepping was and everything like that. And I really learned a lot whenever I joined my challenge group. And when I joined the challenge group, I was really only joining because I wanted to get fit for my cruise. I wasn't really joining to become a coach. I just really wanted to get like my body to look good. But then once I joined the challenge group and I learned about clean eating and I started meal prepping, I realized that it wasn't just something that was affecting me physically on the outside, but it was affecting me physically on the inside too. I noticed how much better I felt whenever I ate clean. I noticed how much more energy I had when I ate clean. I noticed how much smoother my weeks went when I was doing my meal preps. So it has now just become a part of my lifestyle and something that I do all the time. So I get a lot of questions throughout the week from people asking about meal prepping and what it is and how to do it and all of that stuff. And I get people asking me things like how many calories should I be eating and all that kind of stuff. And this just goes back to me not really having a strong background in nutrition. I can't tell you how many calories you're supposed to be eating, and because I don't know, and I don't want to give you false information. And so I want to show you guys how I do meal preps and what has worked for me. So I do my meal preps. I'm gonna have to bend down so you guys can see. I do my meal preps following the 21-day fix nutrition guide, and this is something that Autumn Calabrese, who does the 21-day fix, and she is actually a fitness and nutrition expert, so she knows what she's talking about more than I do. She created this program, and it's what I use for meal prepping, and it's how I know how many things I'm supposed to be eating every day and what I'm supposed to be eating as far as food groups and the portion sizes. So it's a pretty foolproof thing. It's a pretty foolproof program. I'm gonna just scoot this back so you guys can see me and the stuff in it. So these are the containers I use whenever I do my meal preps. So each container is a different size, and they all represent a food group. So like this one is for vegetables, and you can see I actually wrote on there what it is so I don't forget. And based on your weight, there is this formula that you use to figure out how many of each of the containers you're supposed to eat. So for someone that is in a different weight bracket than I am, you might be eating 4 of these instead of 3. So it just depends on what you fall under using that formula. So for me, these are for vegetables, and I eat 3 of these a day. This is for fruit, and I eat 2 of these a day. The red one is for proteins, and I eat 4 of these a day. 2 carbs, and then this one is for nuts and cheese, and then this one is for seeds and oils. And I actually already have my salad dressing in here because I'm going to show you guys just really quickly how I do that. So each one of these, and I use these actually to portion out my food and my meals, and so it makes it super duper easy whenever I'm doing my meal preps. It makes it like literally foolproof. So what I do is on typically Thursday or Friday, I start start to map out what my meals are going to be for the upcoming week. So I figure out like what meals I want, and then I figure out how many of each container I'm going to be using to make that meal. Typically I only do like 3 different like main meals for the week. So if you're someone that likes like a variety, you are going to have to figure out how to create a variety in your foods so you don't get bored. And it's possible to do that. That's one thing that a lot of people think is like, meal prepping, I have to eat like the same thing every single day. Yes, you can do it that way, but you can kind of mix it up and make it different. For me, I don't get bored, and I can eat the same thing every day and not change. And just for the sake of this video, I'm only doing 2 meals. I knew I was going to be creating this video today, and so for this upcoming week for my meal prep, I only have 2 different meals going. So for my first meal, I'm going to have tilapia, green beans, and Spanish rice. I love Spanish rice. And so that takes me to another thing. When I first started eating clean, I was kind of like, man, I'm gonna have to give up so many good foods. Like, I love to eat. And so I was thinking that I was gonna have to give up all these awesome foods that I love to eat, especially like Mexican food. But that's not true. Yes, you may have to alter ingredients and change things, but you can still have good food while eating clean. So like for my for Mexican food, I do a Spanish rice, but I use, instead of using just white rice, I use brown rice, which is better for you. And instead of using like canned tomatoes, I'll actually cut up tomatoes so it's fresh and I know exactly what's going in my food, and I don't have like a lot of salt and that kind of stuff in it from using the canned tomatoes. So you can still have food you enjoy, you just might have to alter some of the ingredients in there. So anyways, I've already done a few of the things here. So one of the meals I'm doing is the tilapia with the Spanish rice and green beans. For my green beans, I'm only using half of one of the green containers for this one, because in my salads, I'm using 2 green containers, and then for a snack throughout the day, I have another half of a green container. So this celery plus these green beans equals 1 green container. I only need 3 green containers. And I know some people are think well, it's healthy, it's vegetables, why can't you just have more? But I think that's something that people don't realize, is that you can overeat healthy food. So you can overeat. That's why you see people think like becoming a vegetarian is going to make them skinny and it's going to make them lose a lot of weight because they're not eating meat and things like that. But if you're overeating, whether it is unhealthy or healthy, you can still gain weight and you can still keep, and you won't lose weight. So even though it's a vegetable, I'm still making sure that I'm staying within what I'm supposed to eat, and I'm not going to go over and eat like 6 of these just because it's vegetables. Okay, so in this meal I have 2. In my tilapia rice and green beans meal, I have a half of a green, and then I have another half of a green, which will be one of my snacks for the day, which is this celery. So that's my 3 green containers for the day. And so I'm going to show you guys for my carbs. I eat 2 carbs a day. So in my salad, I have a half of a yellow one for corn, and a half of a yellow one I put in my salad too. I put Spanish rice in my salad too, just because I like it that way. And so basically, what I do is I just take it and I just measure it out, dump it in there. And then as far as my tilapia goes, I don't actually measure it out with the red container. I'm just eyeball it and make sure that it looks like it would be something that fits in the red container. So there we go. I have my 5, either breakfast or lunch. Now I can eat my whatever I want. I can switch it up and have them for breakfast or lunch, however I want, but that's that. And then as far as my salad, I'm going to use my 1 seasoned oils for my salad dressing. So I just measured out my balsamic vinaigrette salad dressing, and that's for that. I did a video on how I make my mason jar salads a while back, and so I'll link that to this if you guys want to know how I make them, but I've already created a video, so I'm just going to show you guys how I measure it instead of focusing on how I actually make the salad and where I put what foods. So my vegetables, I just measured out tomatoes and cucumbers. That's one set of vegetables for my green, and then I'm going to do corn. So I have my corn here, so I'm just going to do a half of a yellow for corn, and then another half with rice. And then I have my shrimp that I'm going to use for my protein for this meal. So there's my shrimp. And then I need one green for my spinach. And so for the spinach, I just kind of stuff it in there and try to just stuff it in to see how much it will fit. So that's about right. And so then I just dump my spinach in there. And there is one of my other meals. Okay, and then as far as my fruits, so I have my 3 servings of vegetables taken care of for the week. My 2 servings of fruit are going to be, I have grapes. Oh, sorry. So I have grapes or an orange for my snack, one of my snacks for the day, and that's one of my fruits. And then my other fruit is going to be what I mix with my Shakeology in the morning. So with my Shakeology in the morning, I blend it with fruit. So I go ahead, I'll actually show you guys just so you can see. But I use, just frozen vegetables that are already frozen, and then I just measure out the fruit and I put it in a Ziploc baggie. So I would just measure this out, the fruit, and I put it in a Ziploc baggie. So in the mornings, I try to have it where it's going to be as easy for me to get up and go as possible. So I just measure out my fruit and I bag them up, so whenever I wake up in the morning and it's time for me to go to work, I just dump my Shakeology into the container, and then I dump my fruit, which is out of that serving size, in the container, and then I'm good to go. Okay, and so those are my 2 vegetables for the day. So I have my 3 servings of veggies taken care of for each day. I have my 2 servings of fruit taken care of for each day. My 4 servings of protein. Shakeology counts as a protein, but Shakeology is more than just a protein shake. It is a full-on, just awesome nutrition shake. So most people, when they think like, oh, I need something, a meal replacement, they automatically jump to thinking I need a protein shake. But most people don't need extra amounts of protein. Most people don't have a protein deficiency. Most people have a nutrition deficiency, which means that you are lacking the nutrition that you need, not just the protein. So if you're looking for a meal replacement shake and you go and you automatically just Google protein shakes, what you're doing is not really going to be helping you. You need something that has more than just protein, and especially soy protein, because that's probably not going to be good for you anyways. But you need something with nutrition. And Shakeology has 70 superfoods, so that's just different foods that you typically would not eat on a regular basis that are amazing for you. So it has 70 superfoods in you, and it's equivalent to taking like 5 trips to the salad bar. So I drink 1 thing of Shakeology every morning for my breakfast, and that's a protein. I eat 2 boiled eggs every morning as part of my protein. So I actually boil my eggs in the oven. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's pretty amazing. I put them in just a cupcake tin. I put them in a cupcake tin like this. I just lay them in there, and then I put them in the oven for 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then I take them out and I put them in an ice bath. So I just dump them and I put them in an ice bath like this. Ooh, I just dumped water all over my floor. And then they're cooked just like a boiled egg, but it's so much easier, and it peels so much better too. So 2 eggs equals 1 of my red proteins, and then I have my tilapia as a protein, and then I have my shrimp as a protein. So that takes care of my 4 servings of protein a day. And then as far as my carbs, which are supposed to be 2 a day, I have my serving of Spanish rice, and then I have a half a serving of Spanish rice and a half a serving of corn to make my 2 proteins for each day. And then for my nuts and cheese, with my celery, I eat almond butter. So I usually will just fill this up every day with almond butter, and then I just dip my celery in it and eat it like that. My celery and almond butter. So I just clean this out every day, and I just take this with me every day. So that is my 1 serving of nuts and cheeses. And then my 1 serving of seeds and oils is my salad dressing. So I have my meals already prepped for the week. I started doing this at about 3:30-ish today, a little bit before 3:30, and I'm already done. All my meals are already prepped. The hardest part about meal prepping for me is cleaning up after I meal prep, because I don't want to clean up because I've used so many dishes in one day, but I never have to clean up my kitchen again for the rest of the week because I'm done. So meal prepping is such a lifesaver. It saves you so much time. It makes sure you stay on track. I don't know if you're like me, but I have such busy days, and so if I don't meal prep, I get so off track. So I will be gone from about 6 a.m. in the morning until like 6 or 7 at night, because I teach, and then I have cheer practice and all kinds of stuff going on. So if I don't meal prep and I don't take my food with me, my only option typically is to get fast food. And that is not going to lead to smart choices, because then I'm going to go to the fast food place and I'm going to think I'm going to get a salad, but then I'm going to see that burger looking all good on the menu, and I'm probably going to grab the burger instead. So when I meal prep, it kind of forces me to make smart choices, because it's already there, it's already done, and I don't have to think about it. It's just, it's done, literally. So if you are interested in learning more about these containers and how they work, they literally are a lifesaver and make meal prepping foolproof. Like, I don't even have to think whenever I meal prep. I don't have to try to like figure out if I'm eating too much or I'm eating too little. And as you can see, I eat a lot throughout the day. I don't starve myself when I meal prep. A lot of people think like, oh, I can barely eat anything now that I'm trying to eat clean. And that's absolutely not true, because as you can see, I have like 5 different things going on here. So I'm eating like every 2 hours. I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I hope this helps you kind of have a better idea of what meal prepping is and how you should meal prep and how you should eat clean. But if you have questions about the containers or the 21-Day Fix program and how it can help you, shoot me a message. I will link the video that I did a while back to how I actually make these, because there's a certain method to my madness here on how I put these in so that they stay fresh all week long. So if you want, I will link, it's a post on my blog. So I'll link this video to this video. I'll link that video to this video. So now it's time just for me to clean up and put these bad boys in the refrigerator so that they're good to go for the rest of the week. And then the process starts all over on next Sunday. But now I'm done and I don't have to cook again for the rest of the week, and I can just come home and enjoy my weeks with, it took me, 2 hours to do this. And if I was to cook every night at home, it would take me, 45 minutes every night. And so that saves me like 3-4 hours a week by doing this. And that's time I can be using to exercise. So hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Sunday. And if you did not see my post earlier, I will be doing I will be a part of the very first ever test group for online Insanity Live certification. So I'll be getting certified to teach Insanity. And so I'm going to be looking into doing some classes in Houston and some classes maybe in Lake Jackson or Pearland area. So if you are interested and you want to comment below with which area you're in and where you would like me to do a class, I will take that into consideration. But other than that, if you have any other questions about meal prepping or eating clean or just anything overall in health and fitness, you can shoot me a message and I will do my best to help you guys out. But have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys later.